It's time to leave your comfort zone. Stick with me, friend, as we have a conversation about this today. Leanne here, your human design professional and your BG5 business and career consultant. Is your comfort zone holding you back? Yes. So what is the comfort zone? What is it all about? And how can you break free of this comfort zone? So the comfort zone really is the conditioning. It's your conditioned patterns. It is that habitual movement that continues to give you the exact same results that you had yesterday or the day before or last week or 5 years ago. And there's no forward momentum, even though you feel as though you've worked really hard, you've done all the things that they said to do. Maybe you're at a job and you keep getting bypassed for a promotion, or you're in your own business and things don't seem to be really going the way that you think that they should go. And every time you make a decision, you think, oh, well, I totally have this it's my inner authority. I know it's my inner authority. I hear this all the time. I totally know it's my inner authority. I'm using my sacral. I know that it's my solar plex. I totally know that I'm moving from my ego, or I've spoken the word, or my spleen has given me a yes. This becomes a space where we're trying to convince ourselves in our minds that we're actually listening to the inner authority. For the most part, this is what I see when clients come to me. Again, they've had readings everywhere. And mostly it's from, like they're not there. They can't get it. They don't connect with that other person. So they don't understand, and there's no context provided, and the mechanics are just read out, and it's like, okay, there it is. And the clients don't understand their inner authority. Now, hey, take it from me. I was an analyst and I was just following the human design playbook. But there's way more to this than just the human design playbook. And it really is understanding how the subconscious mind creates such a groove in our neural pathways, and that comfort zone and those habits become so ingrained in us. And we make decisions based on the comfort zone. We never want to feel too uncomfortable, so that we constantly default back into this same rut all the time, which again provides us with the same results, which then provides us with the same frustration or bitterness or disappointment or anger. And then we're back to square one. We're looking for someone to help us really understand our inner authority. And I want you guys to just turn this on your head just for a minute, okay? Because what it is it's the comfort zone speaking and not the inner authority. And that comfort zone has to be looked at. The habitual patterns that are ingrained into your movement must be seen. So your homework this week, giving it to you now, we're only a few minutes in, but your homework this week is truly, you have to see your habits. You have to see the patterns in your life. Look at the relationships that you have. What is the pattern? Look at the careers, the jobs. What's the pattern? Because once we can understand the pattern and see it, oh, there it is, then what happens is we can lean into our inner authority. And I'm going to tell you something. Your inner authority is most likely going to take you down totally illogical paths, because you think you're logically moving through your life. Okay, step by step by step, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this. Repeat, we're doing this, repeat, we go to sleep, we get up, we do the exact same thing. And we think, oh yeah, okay, I'm in this logical movement. No, it's a pattern movement. And the inner authority, it's not about morality. It's not, it's none of those things. What it does is it's giving you a clear GPS coordinate to the next best thing for your growth edge. What do you mean, Leanne? What do you mean growth edge? Growth edge is not the comfort zone. So if you were to look at the sixth line in every hexagram, in every color, in the tones, go to the sixth line, color, tone. This gives you an indication what the growth edge feels like. And the growth edge is like, there's a transition happening there. It's uncomfortable as F. It is, pushing every boundary that we have. It is, kind of enticing us to go to that next step. So it's really uncomfortable. But the comfort zone, the patterns, those habitual patterns that we do, and some of you might go, well, Leanne, the 5 and the 15 is all about habits. It's all about patterns and having a fixed pattern. Yes and no. It is. However, if the pattern isn't serving us, then it isn't a pattern that you want to hold in your life. That's why we want to reevaluate, look at, see what patterns are there. Is it an ingrained pattern that we need to break out of? And if the inner authority, and I will guarantee you that there'll be thousands of people that watch this video and they'll be like, yeah, but I know that my inner authority told me that. I'm going to challenge you. I challenge my clients all the time. Was it really your inner authority, or was it your comfort zone? Was it your habitual patterns? Was it that subconscious safety mechanism that's trying to hold you back from your greatness? So let's first, I'm going to pop over to a PowerPoint presentation here. Let's do that so that you can see what I am talking about. All right. Inner authority. If you've been on this channel, if you've been following human design, you're like, oh yeah, I totally know these inner authorities. I know them. The only way to really, really understand these is to take yourself to your growth edge. If something scares you, if your goal, which of course, goal-oriented, you guys have heard me say this before, it's all about future. That's all about the spleen. The spleen is all about fear. So if your goal doesn't scare you, you're not on the growth edge. And if the experience that you're going to have moving towards the goal doesn't bring you any nervousness, it's not big enough. You're not on your growth edge. And I'm saying that because the spleen is all about future movement. The solar plexus is all about our experience. One gives us fear, one gives us nervousness. And if you're not feeling those things, it isn't your inner authority. It isn't the, expanded self. And some of you are going to go like, this is all bullshit, Leanne. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm not here to please everybody. What I am here to do is to be the contagion for your growth. I'm calling you to your growth. I'm sharing my growth so that you can then express and be your growth. So the inner authority can be heard, can be recognized, can show up and make decisions once you really get clear on what those patterns are. Does that make sense to you guys? If you don't know what your conditioned patterns are, then the decision, this really powerful energetic that's built right into all of us, this GPS that pulls us toward our growth edge, it will never be heard. You will believe because you know human design, you know the information, and you're like, oh yeah, totally, I'm totally doing it. I want to believe you. But I will tell you that 90% are not doing it. They're saying they are. They're not. I will tell you right now that my comfort zone gets the best of me a lot of times. Because it's like this bungee cord that snaps us back and keeps us safe. So I want you to lean into this. If it doesn't feel uncomfortable or scary, that goal and the anticipation of the experience, if you're not feeling nothing, if there's nothing there, there's no growth happening. Okay? You want to be able to feel those emotions and feel those things inside your body because that's where growth is. And then decision making is just pointing us in that direction. It's pointing us into nervousness and scary and anticipation and the yumminess. It's all there for us to have. You get to embrace it. So lean into doing the homework this week, getting clear on what your comfort zone is. What are these habitual patterns that you see in your relationships or in your job or in your business or with your children or even like where you drive, where you go get groceries? That is totally, I have that habit big time. And at times, I've shared this with you guys on my channel. There's been times where I know I always go to the one grocery store, and all of a sudden, my energy field takes me to another grocery store, and I see and have a conversation with someone else, and it's magical. With a long-lost friend or an ex-colleague or someone that just needed to have the conversation. Totally illogical. But when you lean into it and you hear it and you move with it, worlds open up for you, okay? So decision is a powerful energetic. Without it, without listening to that inner authority, it's going to be difficult to earn money, to have fun, to be in a life of ease and grace. Because of course, in the comfort zone usually gives us frustration, bitterness, disappointment, anger. So lean into those yummy feelings that come with that excitement, with that anticipation and nervousness, with that scary feeling. Oh my goodness, I'm going to do this. I'm going to totally do this. These scary things that go on. And move us to that growth edge. Lean into those and just see how yummy it is. And all of a sudden you're satisfied because you did something brand new and it brought you an experience you never thought. All of a sudden there's total success there because you were totally seen and recognized. And that scariness, you walked right through it to the awareness on the other side. And all of a sudden, your creative muse feels very peaceful. And there's so much surprise on the other side. It's like, holy shit, I didn't even know that this was over here. I didn't even know that this was a possibility. So lean into this. Get to know your habits. Get to know that comfort zone. And then get out of it. And really trust the inner authority. And when you do, you'll know, because most likely it's so illogical and takes you to places that you've never been before. All right, friends, have fun.